Alright, I'm mami mo bibia kwaba na memfa mbra mega TV and platform eso. Abusia samoba kaya yewra Reverend Isaac Osofopanyini Owusu Bempah ede warning caution chinchirinche bi ekoma NDC MPP amanyuko no specifically no odemacha ma wontumi na ewi akire no emacha ma wontumi so ye action bi eno na be wie mo enne. And some of your papa Reverend Isaac Osofopanyini Owusu Bempah okay before the election no after social come no okay say MPP for any money bumfu because any bufu a obaba Ashanti region and paying pampa NDC for MPP for share ne bufu Emma the day or cancer na chema wontumi respond a friend fake man of God just say at the end say ma won see Ashanti region. Now, Baho no my dear, any bayeno. Abusia, same way guy, Emma Yura, Reverend Isaac Osofopanyini Owusu Bempah, Ekwa Ashanti region. Na Ashanti region no kwa no bia mfani name huno. So kwa ya na wanko, but papa na nsemo kan so no dear, okwa Ashanti region. But na chema wontumi ne nkrofo so on the other side. Omo twen papa no at the corners of Ashanti region. Allegedly no omo pen senko osi hono ma sebi omodi omunsa ebekeka no we allege na sansemi ena kwame nkomati kese ekire mu se ene a yewra ye Reverend Isaac Owusu Bempah ne nkonhyi abami chama wontumi se next time so fupanyini na bie na no na oka kire ne se sebi say ena metimi ya he should not dare him because ensa sebi wa fidi upen no yenka ntontwene yinya kwanya ni bi wa yenka. Ye papa Sofu Owusu Bempah wanyi bi akra na waboa na ado dan kwakufado ema ne be ye president in his 1-2 terms. What you say? And he say, and some people enankoye amfa mamu MPP for. You should not sit in your comfortable zones or on your radio stations or TV station platforms to insult Papa Reverend Isaac Owusu Bempah. Was someone else ekufi na muni di kuko munkomo. But ankoba ni sa emise na opposition na MPP for air koninti na sisi omaso ma enyema bi wo hono ma omo emfa no normal edi a ewo so mu use common sense na omo overreact na tese asenya backfire ene na ababi wi omo ewo position. In fact Kwame Sifakan aye Kwame Tikese Kwame Komiti kese din sembi atudwa awakudomo suko mepese beko ne kwakuti nsema urano editudwa okay FM yakoba. In fact another nkomo bi nso video bi a memia ko ne akwakohwe nyankopon hyira yentie sansemwe emfambra
Uben so at Land Cruiser mu na eba na so uben se at Ford mu na eba na uben so the plane entiati yo chama wontumi en wakobo boys pa omo malangad sa bibi obetuni na yezi obia. It's alleged. Yes, it's alleged. I'm talking about Apostle Dr. Isaac Owusu Bempah. I'm telling you. Sure, what can so about Kumasi no? Now if he said now what can say what would say? Samuti. Say soon ni pebi owo Kumasi ka kire mo say. Na mo fi say oso about Kumasi no be twemfa Kumasi a na mo fi say otenaka mu na aba won. Na mo fi say ote Europe mu na eba. Entina it is alleged say Mama boys ball and guard ewo entry point ni na say wo mu tu ewura Kumasi say santan. Wo mo ya de ombe no. It's alleged. What money is wo? Some nipa na kan me sure samote. But movies are better na mu na ba ho. Wan ya ka mu okode no. Wa betwem afa Kumasi kra, wa betwem ko. Onja ka sa ko anum. Oh, that we say ade nchi yenti. Ana keka oboso samsa mudina tamsa. Ana se bi munyansa wo fom so sentimu nkope high sense. Na mu fi so ka se obeba Kumasi no. O de kan beba Kumasi. O ka sunsumu asem kire. Ana na so nim sunsumu asem no. Waka se obeba Kumasi no fi se ube so at Land Cruiser mu na eba na so ube se at Ford mu na eba na ube so the plane. Entiati yo chama wontumi en wakobo boys pa omo malangad sa bibi obetuni na yezi obia. It's alleged. Yes, it's alleged. I'm talking about Apostle Dr. Rev Owusu Bempah. I'm telling you. To who? Na adiache kakra meka sentia me gidi se wom anipa bi ko fu obi ani kwan se ye fu no bo ebo toto fifi bi a minim se Dr. Lad Mama de Bawumia na no mo mpani yiye o because akomo pani yiye pa ade anu ana no ebo a wo ma de a wo pe won sa kan ye no Sadia no unsori ntia nka sentia. Ense yin no na tete aduane si wanum. Ayan no na twa kontomo de si wanum. Sanse ya enai o paka. All right? No problem. So, ade na nra bua wo no. Ene sadia no. Na ka setia. What ya wone ade na nya adwene anamon bi a wotu ni mprempren yankakwa no tumu e benya nkrofobia minim tumu ha ana ko kan dia yenka nsam sha na meka ebufo ni ba ye na oka kire mo se wo bo mo kokko se ma mo manim ni bumfu na mo ma ni bufu regions ni adunsia wonko baby obekọ Ashanti region enti amamu won wensro weni amawodwe e bi so classmate
okay, 101.7
and akeka oboso samsa mudina tamsa mo na mo hwehwe Apostle Dr. Rev Owusu Bempah ni mugwase no ehu hey ya to aban mu a mo hye nkom bia no titru ni mu a minim dia mo gidi ni dia mo de mo ho atoso na mo dwa manum mo keka mo boso nsam ena se woye nwini a yensima sore dan se woye nwini a ana mi ameseme ho de obi aka so beye bia wonye o obi an free press conference na won kire ye da saa de no obeye wontumi nkan fa ho ni saa anade no wonnim entina wonya na wo kan no you meant it obi abeye ansan ya ba beto aba no wo a wo hye nkom na wo kan se nkom a mi sei se amam se de me kan no a yenya mi sei no wo aye wo ho emo obi anya wo aye wo ho next time say wo bie wa no aka de wuni mo obehwe yie ana urefi police for kwachi obi kura omka chen say you have the right to remain silent because whatever you say can be used as an evidence against you. You do kokotwa. Trani se ni penu masam se ni begina so ebu na tan. Mu katamonia dia mu hua ne esum no mo gas. Ensumo mani paso nkwa didie. Ene yehuwei na wonya ba ko bi so ade na tan atene me hu se ya true story e de akire opposition e de akire wobusuya sorry kro ne de kire wobusuya woni na nam ho asebi won soro man kra nyi wonni se wo kra nyame afrew e na atene ko hen ya kwa kanso anu otuka hu e na wo kwan oye tu no papa. Some guys who are my lady and you 25 minutes after 7. You're sorry. Me who say disappointment to give a jow and I'm not having yatros anymore. Don't I catch a coon? Oh, that we miss a dear chin, a dear chin. And my penyabe de change foot on your dear Juma. Say here blame game ni na say MPP kro mo me pa say me blame obi ma wo mo enti no na make it this way asem na me ka this yasem na etefa wo sa no sometimes na enipa bi yi o mo se minim bibia I was a drew baby and woman say also crowsa. So, what don't want to be so fine? But the apostle doctor Rev Owusu Bempah. But on any party say so I'm one. Ukukukukuku samene patapa samene mujani adi no. Oh, Kumasi Asante region. So aka obom kokko ka kire o. Some man bufu 40% kran hia munya. Oh, Kumasi o. Afi na o ma meto. No be say rally ni campaign na mangrove for beto aba ho.
Okay, FM.
Me bu ba no pay. Na Saul ni ho. But yet Krofo no kwoto aba no mu hu ni da. Wo mo nche na no kasampo da. Na nso motoma no. Ana wunim se yatumi inipa ahodo firi nipam. Ani yatumi di nipa ahodo wura nipam. Udo ni Bible mu pa chama wontumi ana waka Daniel chapter 4. Nebukadnezar kwada afiase abosom nson mfie nson na watwe nson ne nanson dɔwere nson sema nson ani bɔtata nson no. One thing the watchers in the kind was it this is the decision of the watchers. One year in the surgery, Emra Nebukadnezar died in fear one nimpaso to predict bed so. And one year in the surgery. Say you know kuma free mu, Eddie Abua kuma question mu. And they said it. Emra do one could defiasi na. And you be any nam yasu emu awoye ni party say ye. And to Babu na ka bebrebe no ante sa na ano enipa bi firi so wo ya miensa abesra Abraham ama wode no ko wode mo ko ne tentin ma Sarah ye duane ma wo mo di wie wo mo ka kire se eyi ba this time no mo nya nipa o sankrofo na no mo ko to do mangomora no aya to bo According to the offer, Kumasi of Asante region, Namkacho. Obai. Two no ni na na wuni mukuna befa sraba. Obakoi. Dia waso ayo ye. Krofo appetite o mde to abakra be obeyi efiri okra mo hwe ade wepi no. Hey. Na na meyi amabeyi. Krofo nyina yi. Krofo nyina yi na Monday no, say me nya time an kamasem. Na na bisa me one question bi. Say me hu ni say. Was na manyoku NPP. Then na ma enkuguo ni bai. Well, obi abeka ne de. Wo mo ye research. Doctors masapon mo be kom de. Ena wo mo so a wo mo nim amanyosem mu kire political science e wo university. Enso be come de ni na ye obia ne perspective from which or no, but me beyond the physical reasons and causes no me meko sunsumu. Oh yes, meko sunsumu because Bible na say ubie Proverbs chapter 16 verse 33 Proverbs 16:33. What can you obey with your The Message Bible no dey make your motions, cast your vote, but God has the final say. Oh, muntu agina. Monya sisi na nakotata bonkuto wa prede. E ma miei, e pape iribombom fire. Muntu aba. Now so God is the decider. Enti so ya Kristo nipa mi yensho asema mi ken be ye onwa. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 33. O we biesi Bible mu pen. O na no Samuel die yi, ene Saul die yi. Se wo mokoto waba. Aba wo mokoto ye kura no. So no kura no a wo moto waba ma no no. Wo mo a wo moto waba yi so no mu nim no. They didn't know so. Saul one year campaign.
Okay, FM.
Saul one year rally. Saul 1 year posters. Saul want to campaign team. But yet, no Saul no crampo. I'm the country uncle for say mepe musu peniedi. But yet, wamuko to waba. Emeko wiase. Wanu na wankase wo pepeni biedi. Wanu amunkasa yanka we 1 year posters in year rally year campaign. But yet, wamuko to aba no wamutu yi no. Nyabotre kan First Samuel chapter 10. And even Emra Samuel. First time I was Saul. Ebetre woman ansa no mu say ah sa nipa ye to aba ma no no woni. Unim de urade to me ho. And intermediate mission was spiritual. Menka say no dia me megidi no. Yes, opinions are like noses me boa. Obi a woni de. Yes, opinions are like noses de ne. Acrobat opinion de otumi se ne de no so. Anyway, that just by the by. So who na adiache kakra me kasentia me jidi se wom ani pa bi ko fu obi ani kwan se ye fu no bo ebo toto fi bi a minim se Dr. Lad Mama de Bamiana no mo mpani yiye o because akomo pani yiye pa ade anu ananu ebu a wo ma de a wo pe won saka ye no sa de anu won sori ntia nka sentia ense yin anu na tete aduane si wanum eya anu na twa kontomo de si wanum sanse ya enai o paka, all right, no problem. So ade na nra bua wo no ene saade no na ka setia wo dia wo ne ade na nya adwene anamo bia wo tu ni mprempren yanka kwa no tumu e.
Thank you very much. In some way, ena yura kwame nkrumati kese nso odi to bia na wonim on another enkumodidiem so no MP ba akwa former MP ba akwa na oba bontia oba fire pa. He was a member of parliament in 2016 and in 2020, but 2020 omotwa ban eno muyi ne twase akundwa owura ye fe no Eugene Boachiempi Suben Emrashe Bidweni. In fact, oko primaries in 1 minute. Now let me tell you, Sir MP we has been one of the few MPs no quarry no baby de biano or the beto. Since the 88 MPs, sorry say, omom pekin furata ni nani se kinu furata abo maino wama omainu sikasem ejija wama omainu sikasem atwa percent. In fact, since that NAT is subin MP we yura Eugene Boachiempi se o kasa bebre and the kasa no be kasa no so uties otenase na utia utimu se we will make a lot of sense, and he's making his point very clear to Ghanaians because on one party ochirimu akufado and in wofase ninuanom nebusuafo eno mo agipati na boso to the extent say okasi sudua emre bibra woni paka interview akwawe gabi asochiri da ko hawana okasa no kra umfi because of sekufado man powers any nima binti no na chese odini nima bi ehse party na ne ana adu hono na Eugene Boachiempi wachire na adwin me say wabobbo na adwin big time bra okupim ewo Metro TV Randy Abe the show no eso Good Morning Ghana yanko he video hawa run osi express na ho esify de koba medina kai na ebeto aso ewo yam platform so yankopon enshira onyo kese hanom your number 1 authentic platform. Subscribe for latest update yenti nsa no emfa embra
saying, and you can go back and check. I kept saying we've done this today in the interest of MPP,
of the party, yeah.
Because if this press conference has not taken place today, we have total annihilation staring our faces in 2024.
You said so.
I kept using this word, total annihilation. What had happened to John Mahama in 2016 was bound to happen to us in 2024.
Why you said it would be worse?
Yes, I kept saying, I'm not Musa Dankwa. I'm not a great mathematician. I was weak at maths. Understand? But political experience and studies, analysis. And as a politician myself who have gone for elections, Randy, my polling station was a clear indication on Saturday that NPP had lost massively.
Really?
Subi is the heart of Kumasi. As a parliamentary candidate for the 2016-2020, my polling station is just down about 2 minutes walk from my office, my private office in Kumasi. So when I go to Kumasi on Saturday, I had my usual watching, right? And then I say, 8 o'clock. I normally start I will go and vote at 8 o'clock sharp. And then I will do the inspection of the 169 polling stations. I have 170. Mine also. There was 2 there, so 168. Normally when I get there, I have about 200-300 people massed up, yes, ready to vote. When I got there on Saturday at 8 o'clock, there were about 50 people, 50. So I said the driver should take me to a couple of polling stations. And because I border Asukwa, I also went to Asukwa. And there were no queues. So quickly I went to
scenarios.
Yes, I went to the MP's platform and said to Sheila Battels, MP for Ablekuma North. I think she was in charge of the get out the vote. I said, Sheila, please get the volunteers to go and get people out because
go around.
The elections I have contested as a candidate and what I witnessed in March on Saturday.
In crisis.
We are in crisis. You see, but my worst fears, Randy, have been confirmed at 8 o'clock Saturday morning. I was paying attention to Busarangwa. I was paying because I have the 4 markets in Kumasi, the 4 big markets. They are in my constituency. Right? That constituency, my mom was born there 84 years ago. Right? So all my uncles, so that was just like my hometown.
Yeah.
So everything I get to hear. And when the traders start complaining, because they know the MPP is a better manager of the economy. So when the MPP is in power, their problems were assaulted. But you could see they were not ready to vote. They were not ready to come out to vote. That shock. That sent a shock through, my spine. Then when I got to Accra, I was driving home. They now live in Ezekuku. So I was driving. Where are the queues? So when I got home, the first night was switch the TV on. I started making calls. I said, look, this election we are in crisis. But Randy, I was not expecting the magnitude of defeat. I was not. I thought John would probably do 140, 150. Take parliament. Win convincingly. I was not expecting a second round. I was not. I was expecting that he would win hands down because from what I had witnessed in Kumasi and Accra, I thought, no, this one, it won't work for us. Then that fell. So when I got to Accra, I kept telling people, like they were referring to Okujeto. Okujeto is a minority MP. He's doing his broadcast against our party, and we don't respond to them.
You don't have a response.
No, but Randy, why don't you have a response?
Because it's true.
Fine. So the middle classes in our country, they were hoodwinked. I don't say they bought into what Okujeto was doing and punished us.
You shouldn't have done it. If you didn't do it, you have nothing to broadcast.
Well, but I'm saying that that is what.
But it's that there's an official response.
Yes.
What are you going to respond to?
Oh well, look, Randy, he comes out, he puts something out.
You have been caught.
Okay, that's fine.
No,
that's fine. And now, we must also, in the interest of this country, advise John Mahama. He has one of the largest, the largest majority
Ever.
But managing expectations comes from Parliament.
Right.
John will fall or rise by Parliament. Mark my words. John Mahama, with this victory, he will fall or rise by Parliament. You mark my words.
Explain that.
Yeah.
Explain that.
Oh, but you've seen it. You've seen it. You have 169 MPs, right? You can't make all of them ministers or deputy ministers. But at least, you must know that once they are an MP, they have brought something to the table. by canvassing for you. Because every MP, when I was a candidate in 2016, 2020, my main interest, Eugene, your votes, Ekufuadu's votes. Because Ekufuadu wins as president, I know I'll become a minister. So as I'm looking after mine, I have an eye on his.
Securing his.
You understand? So you are fighting 2 elections in the constituency in one day. So when we come to Parliament, 169, and Randy, this person is not made a committee chair, he's not made a board chairman, and these appointments are coming from outside to the detriment of people who use their resources to campaign for you.
But they are not the only people who campaign.
I'm coming. I'm making a point. But you see, they are the first category that you have to look at. But they are MPs. And the Constitution says majority from Parliament.
Yes. And President Mama says he will do 60.
Okay, fine. The 60,
so a minimum of 31 from
the 60
Parliament.
Fine. You can do that. You can do your board chairs because one, there are so many agencies too.
Yeah. So many.
Randy, we know everything. We've been to
Parliament. But an MP
yes.
cannot be a CEO.
No, but you can be a board chair.
Yeah, or a board member.
A board member. You understand? All these things must be looked at because you see, once the noise start from the chamber, you're on your way out because you don't have the enthusiasm.
Or you are in crisis.
Yes, you don't have the enthusiasm to go out there and work for the party or government. Now, Babe record, when we come, you see NDC fully packed. Our side, sometimes you are even like you have 20 people behind Afenyo. Why? You always say, I'm going to fight for my own. Why should I come and waste my time?
But when Che was there, people were coming.
No. Well, they were coming, yes, possibly. But you see, the latter days, people have interest elsewhere. And then, beyond that, after looking, that's my advice to John Mama. I don't have to advise me, he knows. But if he loses Parliament, he's out. Then the whole party will go. We told some people, they didn't believe us. Some people said, constituency my foot. Today, they are biting. Yes. Already. There's one cause.
Sir?
And someone constituency my foot. Somebody goes and gets 78% for Kufuadu. And get about 75% for himself.
Yeah.
And the quarter constituency my foot.
Really?
Arrogance.
Sir?
Arrogance. Also, election. Police station can't be that. Like I said, because the party down. Andy.
Yes.
Now let me advise my party elders. We need to start our rebuilding. You see, otherwise, this venting, we are capping, it will go on all the way for the next 2 years. We cannot wait for the police station elections in 2026. We can't.
And that's the next thing.
Yes, because they came in 2022. We can't afford it. The team-led executive must sit up and call for an emergency next meeting. They must bring out a timetable. Maybe if there are constitutional amendments, let's go and deal with it. If we don't have a timetable for elections, because you see, we need to put the structures in place and look forward to electing the flag bearer right away to give the party direction. You understand? Otherwise, we are coming on. We have heard, Mom, I mean, this person, I went and sat in the for 6 hours, he didn't see me. You hear all that every day. So, may I say that between now and on the January, we should, and after that, we can come together and go for a national executive or national council meeting and set with a clear time frame of when these guys are exiting, right? And pave the way for all the party officers, all the internal elections to take place, apart from, of course, presidential and parliamentary, which will go probably in 2026, so that we can begin to give the new base a direction. Otherwise, Massa will be in trouble. Well, Mahama has honeymoon probably for the next 18 months. Ghanaians will bear with him. You understand? Well, it's going to come out now also with, there's nothing there. We chew the bone to the marrow. There's no marrow in the bone. We chew all sorts of things will come up. But what is important is that what are we going to do as opposition? What you must do, you must begin to rebuild the party. So this is the reflection moment. Everybody can vent, everybody can say what they have to say. We must all come to an end after the end of January. February, serious business. You understand? We can always bring the dates forward for our elections. The internal elections, the polling station, the electoral area, the constituency, the region, the national. Let's do all that by end of next year. You understand? So there's a new team in place to give direction. Then we are looking at going to select the flag bearer and then the parliamentary candidates around 2026, 2027. That is fine. If you don't do that, and we've seen it with Nana Akufo-Addo. Anytime he lost an election, we will live for 2 years, and there will be so much confusion. Now we know clearly that the chairmanship, the leadership of the party has reverted to the national chairman. It's always the case. So he should sit down and come up with a timetable. there's no need for anybody to start saying,
So
oh,
how
let's
do you,
wait.
how do you then deal with those who left the party? Those some having left, but they obviously sitting on the fence. There are some who
I'm sure
did things against the party.
I'm sure if you allow all of them to vent, Randy, and once the ventilation is over, they all come back because they were probably unhappy with one thing or the other. And I keep saying, you cannot.
And the venting will include some of those who you are accusing, because they probably too, if you speak to them, they might also say that they also have things to say.
Oh, if you have things to say, you see, it's about leadership. If I mention people, I mention because they have leadership and responsible positions to put things right. I'm not saying it because I enjoy mentioning their names.
Right.
Akufo-Addo has been the leader of our party since 2007 December. I was his polling agent in Legon on that fateful day. Since that day, till 11th of November or so, when Bawumia was elected, Akufo-Addo has been the leader of this party. So how can we not blame him for what has happened?
That's about 17 years.
17 years. Nobody from nobody, from Buzia through all the way to Nanado, has had the opportunity of leading this party for 17 years. So when these people are saying, oh, and we should be talking, why should we be talking? LDP is a public institution of human beings. Do you want them to sit and rather go and vote against you like we witnessed? Or you want them to vent and after all we bring them back and build a party? Which one do you prefer? So we cannot talk about the defeat, the seismic defeat of our party, the seismic defeat of our party in the yesterday poll without mentioning Akufo-Addo's name. And some of the things that his family members have done to people of this party.
Your
We have to talk
knowledge in
about
geography is sound.
we have to talk about it. Otherwise, we are not going to make progress. We cannot make progress. If any NDC, if any MPP, 1 million people who can sit and say, oh, for 18 years, the matter has been leader, 7 years, I'm leader of this party, but it's okay, don't talk about it. Let's move on. How are we going to move on? People will then go back and start planning and plotting and voting against the party. So, I told you, MPP, we need an open heart surgery where people must be allowed to vent. And then when that's all done, you can then go back and rebuild the party. It's necessary in politics. The Conservative Party is doing it in Britain. I'm sure the Democrats will also start soon in the US. After going through an election, when you lose, that's what you do to bring people on board. You understand? You cannot say that we can't talk about it. When we lost 2000, he didn't blame Kufuor. There are people who are talking today and who think that Kufuor should not be blamed. They didn't the same people blame Kufuor. Didn't they write articles against Kufuor for building a Jubilee House? For building airplanes?
The candidate.
Then he didn't support, so he sabotaged. Didn't hear all these things. Now, we are going to talk. We are going to build a party. And we cannot build this party without mentioning Akufo-Addo's name. Because he's been leader for 17 years. He was in opposition for 8. Government for 8. How can you discount him? Then we shouldn't talk at all. We are going to talk about it. And nobody claims that he loved Akufo-Addo more than me. I've made sure he became president of this country. When people doubted him, I made sure I was one of his front runners.
True.
In this country.
True.
Sat here, fought people, made him president. So who loves him more than me? I will talk. So those who think that party is their own palabra. But if we don't talk, Massa, in so much you have no idea.
Sir?
People who went to University of Ghana with my father they are in their 80s, 84, 85. They will call you when you go to them. They show you what DDEP has done to their bonds. Whoa. Quietly. Their pension. They do know what I'm hearing. They should come. They should come. They start coming on social media to insult. People who have lost serious investments. We shouldn't talk about that. Then how are we going to build a party? But Randy, how are we going to build it? Tell me. When Mahama lost, what insults did he chop from his own NDC people? Those who were contesting with him to become flag bearer. Didn't they insult him?
Ebu baby se insuo hoi etai aponchani a oyeden ojewo sansona adidija hoi oni muna enenam. In fact, Eugene Boachentwi is one of the few MPs, regardless of everything, no. Omu putu omu party aside. Obi beka so a bitter because I lost the seats. In fact, premise no wa Wolusu, he's still a member of parliament, but the 9th parliament no can. Enti why so bitter because of so Wolusu ni seat. Enti de bi oka sansem we. But yemi sa sensema na owura ne ka no ene abama na nyambam. Bibi se ho. Ensema na subin emrahye bedwani eka no. Na abama na nyambam. And Obuasi East, former member of parliament, Yura, also Edward Enin. Sa MPs menuwe, Ekan Simbi. They knew what is going to happen in the future. That was 7 December. So they started saying, Omubeka bibi area MPP paying for nanko master son name. But because of say the influence in the party and your march into the end, another wakoye kwa bota nana obutenti nana nebu katneza yen kama asem nana kokotako ukana asema na udi bufu no di nise benkum chire wosoma enti no wentie di omokae and mobeka ya megamit matna platform go so I'm making it clear say MPP ko position nipa omo edi omanu ko si ho Kufado. Yes, makaza say we say Bawumia no kra no he will be spared because Bawumia no anya Kufado anka Bawumia no onka MPP ho and anya Kufado so anka Bawumia no wanya den wa midi MPP ni because Kufado called him from Bank of Ghana. So bra no made the running mate. Even when he called him no, the party members, some of them were saying say no, Bawumia doesn't fit for this because he has not been in the party for the past 5 years. And I will say unya card and to gain a card in MPP political party, so I was already unya at least 5 years. But the Bawumia but the Kufado guy pleaded on his behalf. Akufado yedin ehye yedin mfanchem Akufado epa the Council of Elders, the National Elders, NEC, the National Executive Council. He pleaded with them and told them to give him an Bawumia because Bawumia is intelligent and hardworking, respectful guy. So and some way na ekoto neck ni no and a neck so consider Bawumia. So he therefore subsequently became Yura Nanado, the running mate in 2008 at home ABC ene. Inti Bawumia di party we him only Akufado mo di party we him for not less than 18 years now. Inti se BBC Akufado should be blamed. Akufado should be blamed. And I've told we say MPP Komoko position, we catch you say the only person he is responsible for that Akufado because they did that to Kufuor 2000, back for 2008 Owusu election. The matter was MPP for Bonechi, majority of them Bonechi. They did the same to Mahama in 2016. MPP NDC for criticizing and say Owusu so high. But near him says high BDA high BH. In him saying Yankupon Esan Beshe Mahama in Munyam in 2024. That is why I'm indicating a catcher in DC for Semu, the Maban Mu ye bibia ye because the same way Yankupon Asham in Munyam 2024, there could be a time a month year MPP for Subinyam say the Munyam Munye inti. Munhwe ye policies bi amodiba enema bi amodiba biano we make sure say it is on its path and bibia de na kwam yenka se nipa nye mistake but the mistakes the repetition of mistakes na Ghana for pay and also happen in the Kufado the government and Ghanaians lamented. Ghanaians we commented a lot. We drew baby kwa Kufado catch sisi kampedidi just no one sika on the conform on the bombs into a catch of sika impedidi. Meanwhile, no, na Ghana for Chirom Ghana for Intimaye and Casa Moy and on a sofa. And then one baby a poet in a kudro. Into who ye be beer, whom say, Nipa energy to minimal. And one day you'll be accountable to the person, you'll be accountable to those who gave you the power. And we have all witnessed, say the MPP from Kugo Modi and in Guasio for me. Say even when nobody tells them anything, Grana, they have disgraced themselves big time. And to take Bomia out to concede defeat, it is a whole lot of things. Before even easy declaration, it is a whole lot of things. And to take Bomia to get 41%, in fact, it is a whole lot of things. And the NDC for you must learn something good from these lessons. Politicians, sometimes you don't learn. Sometimes politicians they forget easily. I don't know, say wapayo, say jumbonu, say pesimenkumeyo, say any dahu. Enkadiatu MPP NDC for enkamobe faso atoto oman we ye sebe mo betina oman we so ache, because Ghana for don't take Ghanaians for granted. Ghana for you bury this time around, and we will never allow any political party to spoil this country for more than 4 years. Say 8 years, but let me tell you, and the Ghanaians are tired and Ghanaians are ready to save this country. It is obedi so 4 years comfortably, you will take you out from the throne. Then we select different leadership. I think I know the better, because the more we do that, the more they correct their mistakes and the more their mind comes to themselves, the more they get aware of certain things. And it is very good. Say Ghana for Yati democracy. I see. Who said the democracy ever kisifa. And it is not about religion. It is not about tribal. It is not about family. Now it is about Ghana building consensus. And that is it. What I say. And the Wontumi, he knows nothing about political party, even among your same governance, or which amount to medical cases on Coron Sementino or Bible school and call Baby Sofo. I obey Reverend. That is a weird or the coron in another day, no, I didn't go for scar. And who say, hey, politics, crown, side or no, clear chrono. And Jalan Kojichaman do no, a sword is a didn't work in mine or Gino. And I shall say, Udi, Semi, go for it. All these things, say, sinner say, be. Mom 5 years, you had the numbers when DC for mobile by repeat the same mistake. Then, more position, it will be very difficult, because this time around, if you're Ghana for you, I see a be a could do Ghana for your dreams in a say be a could do any to make sure this country progress. More yes, I didn't emphasize. That is all. Pamemfa wonsi hanom mega TV. Let's also document betum. Wala ki dwumadi na wahye na afoforo eyi biahwe. Omodina subscribe to your channel for latest update. My Facebook link in our description. Go na go follow me on my Facebook page. Misraw. Go follow me wate pa chaw. Na bibia entimi enkoso. Ti abusia de da ekoso ye ne pitre mamemfa wonsi. Mema me chiba for United States of America. Mami nyankopɔ nyɛ ɔkɛseɛ. Saa nso na mami wɔ bi ɛwɔ UK. Nyankopɔ nhyira me mami. Ɛna obi bi ahwɛ Mega TV no. I salute you. Makraw. Bye bye.